Hey guys, welcome back to the third episode. So sorry about the long wait. We kind of messed up a little. We haven't been here for a while. We've actually been out of town. Spring break, just living our lives. We are back though. We will definitely have the podcasts on a weekly basis. It's hard to do with both of us are really, really busy, so live them hard working lifestyles, grinding all the time, fucking getting out there, working our asses off, making sure that we're making the bills. Breadwinners Association, shout out to Kevin Gates right there. Anyway, we're back with a great episode. I know we didn't do the thing about like having you guys ask us questions or doing like debate or something. We will do that. Like I said, we just haven't had the time recently. So now that we're back, we'll definitely do it next episode. Come back episode 4, watch us. So yeah, this is gonna be a great show for you guys. Don't know what's in store, but we'll see what happens. Let the night go as it goes.
Sit back, grab some food, listen to the whole thing. We'll be talking about a lot. Starting off, like Brandon said, we were out of town for spring break. We went on a cruise to Cozumel. We were supposed to go to Key West, but there was
How to shout out the hometown there.
We went to Key West, and all these street merchants were heckling me, and they just looked over at Brandon and didn't bother heckling him.
They were like, "Hermano!" Came up, gave me a hug. They were like, "What are you doing here?"
It's a really cool place. I had a lot of fun. Brandon had a lot of fun. Yeah. But we were supposed to go to Key West, like I said. The weather was too bad, so it's just a Cozumel trip, honestly.
Yeah. It was interesting. First time in a casino. Didn't try out the tables. I was a little afraid. I thought I was gonna lose all my money, so had to work on those slot machines,
Work the slots, yo. I'll tell you what though, when we were on that cruise, you could tell the legit people from the non-legit people, because there's people working the slots at like 9 a.m. They were working the slots at 9 a.m.
And those are the people that should, instead of going on an actual cruise, just hit Victory Casino, because
those are the type of people that stayed on the ship the entire time.
Hey, listen, Victory Casino, if you want to sponsor us for shouting you out there. But anyway, yeah, they were gambling their life savings away on a cruise, and it doesn't make any sense. They could have easily, instead of going, spending the $700-800 on a cruise to go to Cozumel, when they could have just flown to Vegas for I don't know, $500. Let me look this up.
They definitely spent. I would probably say a person that's working the slots at 9 a.m. because those are the same people that don't leave until they absolutely have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was what, a 5-day cruise? Yeah.
4-day
cruise. Yeah, 4-day cruise. So they were probably spending about ballpark like $500 a day.
Yeah.
$500 a day for 4 days. $2,000. You could do some stuff with $2,000.
Yeah, exactly. Listen. So, there are multiple flights here from Orlando to Vegas, and the cheapest one is $160. But that's if you want to sit on lawn chairs in Spirit.
We don't need a sponsorship from you guys.
Yeah, no. Sorry about that, Spirit. But most of these range from looks like $160 to $328. So you could easily spend that much money. I don't know about hotels. You got to think about hotels and stuff too.
You could stay at a seedy ass motel for.
That's true. You could stay at a motel, but
I mean that's why I guess people are going on cruise ships, because it's a little nicer.
That's true.
But they're not doing anything but gambling. They're working the slots, yo.
You could go to the Bellagio for $200 a night. So you could probably. Nah, you'd be spending more money. You could do Paris, Las Vegas for $56 a night, or the Flamingo for $43, but those are still 4-star hotels. So I mean,
isn't the Flamingo the hotel in the movie 1408?
No, he went to New York for that.
Oh, you're right. What was it? The Blue Dolphin?
I think it was like the dolphin.
The pink dolphin or
Pink
blue dolphin?
Yeah, it was some.
Blue dolphin is a song.
Another thing we gotta look up.
Listen,
we're not very smart on our references.
Yeah. Those
Uh,
are also the same people that if they manage to go to dinner, they're rocking what, tank tops and some cutoffs.
yeah, they all. Actually, I didn't really see that many people that were not dressed up nice. My brother told me about people who.
I saw a lot of T-shirts though. I won't lie.
1408 was a Stephen King book,
Was it?
I guess.
If you guys haven't seen 1408, it's a movie about a haunted room. 1408, which is 13, the floor 13, because hotels don't believe in the 13th floor, so they make it the 14th floor. If you didn't know that, next time you're at a hotel, look at the elevator. They don't have the number 13 anywhere.
Dolphin Hotel. There's no
Dolphin
color.
Hotel.
There's no color in front of it. It's just Dolphin.
But yeah, it's just a haunted hotel. You gotta watch it. It's probably one of the better movies I've seen in my life.
Yeah. It really, honestly, I mean, if you don't know me, you wouldn't know this, but I'm from California. But like, just all those movies from that you see California in it, it really makes me like want to live there. Even though I know the people that do know me know that I only lived there for the first 3 years of my life, so I don't remember it. But like, just knowing the fact that I was born in California and the fact that I was so close to like San Fran and Sacramento and all those places, it blows my mind to know that like I'm technically a California boy. So like technically I could have been in those movies. I could have just been walking in the back and like you would have never known, you know?
I feel like, based on all those videos you see and stuff like that, I feel like nothing gets done in California.
Honestly, I mean, like, most of the videos you see are, like, people smoking pot. The movie Lords of Dogtown, great movie. Amazing movie, actually. Probably one of my most favorite movies. I just recently saw it. Don't like roast me on that, but I know it's like a classic and everybody has to see it. But it's one of probably the better movies that I've ever seen. And it just shows like I think it's Venice Beach. They call it Dogtown, and like all those areas around. It's like not like great areas, but
that's
it's
the place
it's
that
a
has
beach.
the outdoor gyms, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. They have
Yeah,
the
I think
outdoor
so.
gyms. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. But no, like Dogtown is like it's basically like where all the like skating started and all the surfing happened and all that stuff. It's like where all that originated from, and like the movie's based on these like a bunch of kids who join a skating team for this guy who's like a famous surfer or whatever, and he makes surfboards and stuff in California, and they're called the Lords of Dogtown, and it's actually based on a true story. Like, if you look it up, his name was Tony Alva, and he owns his own...
Tony Alva.
Tony Alva. He owns his own skateboarding company.
Familiar, yeah.
He, like, it's like a huge thing. He owns his own skateboarding company and stuff, and the group was called Zephyr, Zephyr Competition Skateboarding Team, and he was there with Stacy Peralta, who was actually, he owned a team that Tony Hawk skated for.
Really?
Yeah, he was the owner of that team, and Tony Hawk skated for him, and it was 14-year-old Tony Hawk.
Is Tony Hawk still relevant today?
He is. I feel like there's I saw a story about how he was like on an airplane. This might have been a really long time ago, and most people might already know about this, but he was on an airplane, and he had like put his skateboard above like in the upper compartments or whatever.
Storage, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they call it. I haven't been on an airplane that much. But he put his skateboard up there, and some lady had seen it. She was like trying to fit her bag up there. She's like, "Yo, whose skateboard is this?" And Tony Hawk was like, "Oh, that's mine." She was like, "Oh, you go to skating?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm decent, you know." She had no idea she was talking to Tony Hawk, like one of the
do
kids.
you think like, say like Tony Hawk was walking down the streets, how many people would like walking down our streets? How many people do you think would stop him and be like, "Yo, can I get a picture?" Because He's aged a lot. He doesn't look like the one we
First
looked at.
off, Tony Hawk wouldn't be walking; he'd be skating down the streets. I feel like that man skates everywhere he goes. If he doesn't, then he's just not allowed to
That's
be called
true.
Tony Hawk. He should be
Yeah,
called
that's
Tony
true.
Walk. Because
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
listen, it's just because Tony Hawk. You know the name. Like
Yeah.
they made 300 different video games about
Yeah.
him. Like if you were born knowing who Tony Hawk is.
Yeah, but I feel like my little brother doesn't know who Tony Hawk is.
I feel like that's not true. I feel like everybody knows who Tony Hawk is because like I don't ever recall asking anybody, "Hey, who's Tony Hawk?" Like whenever
Yeah.
I was like growing up, like you knew about him.
Yeah.
Like no matter what. Like
Is he from California?
I don't think so. Let me look that up again.
And speaking of California, I read earlier today that San Francisco has just passed a law where they're cutting off all vape purchasing.
I saw that. I think that's a dumb thing because he's from Carlsbad, California. Because off the topic of Tony Hawk, but no, that's dumb because like they're doing it so people won't.
So kids won't be.
So
attracted
kids won't
to
be
it.
addicted to nicotine, correct? And it's apparently causing like all these lawsuits that are like it's telling people that these kids are getting addicted and then they're getting depression and all this other stuff from it. But like all these lawsuits are happening, and what I believe is all these people that are addicted to it, like already, that have already started doing it and they've already gotten addicted to nicotine, they're gonna need their nicotine somehow.
They're just gonna go to a city down or a city up or a city east
or
or west.
or if they're lazy, because that's what nicotine does, is it's gonna make them go and buy a cigarette. And
That's true.
Then
That's true.
everybody's gonna start buying cigarettes, and then they're gonna have a health crisis in California of everybody having lung cancer.
I think that if they're worried about people getting addicted, blah blah blah, and banning vapes, like, why don't they get rid of the first original problem and
They
just
should.
try to ban cigarettes first?
But see, that's the thing, because I feel like back in the day, whenever there was no such thing as vapes, I feel like, let me look up the statistics. I feel like kids still bought cigarettes and still smoked those because, like, but like when parents used to find their kids with like cigarettes, they'd be like, smoke this entire pack, and these kids would be like, they'd be like crying
Yeah.
about the fact that they're smoking the entire pack. But like with vapes, parents aren't gonna come up and be like
Vape this
vape this
entire
entire
bottle.
bottle of juice, and like these kids are gonna be like, all right, cool. But like
Because
that's
you
the
can
thing.
do that.
Exactly.
I also think that, like, I've seen these ads where it's like vaping it's the equal sign with the slash. Doesn't that mean not equal to or something like that?
It's not. Yeah.
Equal to or less than or something? I don't know.
It's wait, what do you mean? Like equal?
With like the slash through it?
Yeah, that means it's not equal.
Like, because it's saying like vaping is not equal to like 100% healthy, but if you think about it, it doesn't have the carcinogens, it doesn't have the tar, it doesn't have the tobacco, it doesn't have all that stuff in it that cigarettes do have. So it is not a healthier alternative, but a better alternative, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Listen to statistics. You ready for this?
I see it.
Okay, so before vaping existed, right? And they weren't having a problem with kids smoking apparently, because 29% of 12th graders in like 1976 was using cigarettes.
Yeah, my mom, I was literally just talking to my mom and she said her high school, they allowed people to smoke in the bathroom. Like, that was fine to do.
Exactly. Listen, it didn't go down past 10% until, like, it looks like 2011.
Really?
2011 was when it went below 10%. So that's whenever, I think that's around when vapes started to come out.
Yeah.
But it peaked in 96, it looks like. 12th grade, 25%, 8th grade, 10%.
Really?
And 10th grade, 18%. So that's whenever it didn't really peak it was at its peak back in 75 or 76 with
Yeah.
12th graders. But it looks like in 96 is the like margin for everybody. What they set the margin to. And yeah, that's 25 for 12th graders.
What is the stat all the way to the left for 12th graders?
For 12th graders, that's like the 28%.
28%.
28%. So that means that why didn't they do all that stuff before, like, before when they try and ban cigarettes back then?
Exactly.
Like,
Because I feel like towards like the earlier years, people didn't know cigarettes were bad for you, you know?
that's
They were
true.
having, like, kids could smoke.
But they still don't know the bad
Yeah,
things about
exactly.
vapes.
That's when, like, 10 years later they figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I just feel like they're like wasting their time, like with all this stuff about like banning all this stuff because the number is gonna rise again because in California because they're not gonna have access to that, so they're gonna go back to the other form, which is cigarettes, and then they're gonna have a major health crisis.
Or, like, smokeless tobacco. They'll find something. It's just that with the changes, like, everybody always hops on the new wave. Like, a year or two ago, everybody had a mod. But if you see somebody with a mod nowadays, you're like, oh, you have a mod is like the big vapes
Oh,
that, like, with with like the batteries and stuff, and like
Okay.
you could change the watts. But now people have the salt nick devices.
is that like the small ones? That you
It's
put
like the Juuls and the
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Is Juul is getting sued by a lot of parents because it's causing their kids to get lazy and it's causing
It's
their kids to have
because
depression and all this other stuff.
They pack so much nicotine into one pod. I don't know if the fact is true, but it was like one pod is the equivalent to 20 cigarettes.
20?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But like, I don't know what the percentage is off the top of my head. I think it's 45% nicotine.
45.
Look that up. But I know, like, back a year or two ago, people would smoke like 6%. Like, it jumps.
Juul pods. Here we go. 5%. You were way off. It's 5%, not 45%.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's 5%. People would, 2 years ago, they would smoke 0.6%.
Exactly. And like
That's what I meant.
The thing is, it looks like the pods are relatively small, aren't they? I believe they're relatively small. Yeah,
Yeah,
right
they're
here.
like, what, this size?
Yeah,
About?
they're very small. Looks like, and yeah, that's insane.
It's because also what people are targeting them about is how they attract the younger ages with the flavors. And I heard that they had to get rid of the fruity flavors now.
Hold on, this is interesting. I just found a picture. It's a chart. Hold on. Where'd it go? Here it is. Absorbed nicotine level. So time after first puff. So you get almost the same amount as a cigarette. So like 2 to 3 minutes after the first puff, you get, it looks like 20 milligrams or 20 milliliters of your absorbed nicotine level apparently. So
That's insane.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't get it. It's crazy. There's just so much like controversy going on with like Juul and all that stuff. They like apparently partnered with Marlboro, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they did, like, they partnered with them. They also, what else is it? They got into trouble with the FDA, I believe. And
They did, yes, because of the flavors, right?
yeah, I think it was because of the flavors. The kids were too addicted to, like, was it the fruit flavors, like mango
Yeah,
and like fruit or
mango.
something like that? And I think they got rid of all of those. I think they banned them. So,
Yeah, they did.
So, that way. But that just makes no sense because wouldn't the kids just try and get the other pods, the other flavors?
I would think so, but like I'm saying, like I said earlier, like you rarely see out of 10 people you pull out of the crowd, you'll see maybe one adult with a Juul, and the other 9 are children. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I feel like because a year or two ago they had like vapes that were like this big.
Yeah.
I feel like the newer ones attract the kids because they're so small and incognito that they can do it anywhere.
Exactly.
Like I've seen a bunch of videos of people using it in class or using it in like lectures or stuff like that. I just feel like people are like, oh, they're small, they can fit in my wallet, or like, I can hide it in my sock.
Exactly.
And it's like low key.
And they can just do it like if they have a long jacket, they can like put it in their like sleeve or something.
Exactly.
And be able to just like sit like
with
this.
these things, like I know that like not the but like the bigger vapes, they like produce a lot of like smoke. The Juuls, I don't think they produce nearly as much smoke as the older ones.
You know what I saw that was hilarious?
What?
I was just joking around because I was looking at this because I knew that they were small. Is I looked up just to see how many kids did it. I looked up on YouTube how many, like, I looked up how to hide your Juul. There's like 300 different videos of like 15-year-olds and like 12-year-old girls that are out there like, well guys, so what you can do is you can hide your Juul from your parents if you take out this picture frame. You like rip out the back and you stick it in there and you close it up and then nobody will ever be able to find
Isn't
it.
that like so sad to think about? Because like if you think about it, like somebody's like, I'm gonna hide my Juul in this toy chest, right?
Mm.
It's like they used to be like playing with toys and stuff. Now they're worried about hiding their Juul from their parents.
Exactly, and that just brings me to another topic. These parents aren't watching their kids' internet usage because if they're able to go onto YouTube, post a video about how to hide a Juul, then they're obviously not paying attention.
And
to
I'm
their
sure
kids.
they get views on it too.
They probably do, and if they were to go onto their kid's computer, like my parents always checked my computer to make sure like
I feel like parents don't check texts anymore.
They don't my parents definitely checked my phone all the time just to make sure like nothing bad, like what's happening to me and all that other stuff, and they were making sure like I was safe and all that stuff online, and they were like checking all that stuff. And these parents nowadays, I feel like they've gotten lazy about it. And I mean, I'm not trying to like trash parents or nothing right now, but I'm just saying like always check your kids' internet usage because they
it's
could
also
be,
because kids have 3 or 4 like internet connectable devices.
That's true.
They got tablets, phones, laptops.
But I mean, they all connect to one account. So like if you go onto your kid's like phone, just go through their text, see if they're texting about like nicotine devices or like anything else like weed or something, and then or you could go onto their YouTube and check to see like what they're looking up. You can check all that stuff and like just see their internet history. You'll see like my video. You'll see in their history, my YouTube channel, how to hide your Juul.
Or you see in the mail they get a little check from YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what is this for? No, but I think it was you who showed me the picture, right?
What?
Of the 15-year-old who smoked 2 pods a day and his gums were destroyed.
I was on Twitter and this mom had had found out about her kids like doing that, and she only had found out because after they were doing it for so long, they got chemical burns from these things, and it like messed up their gums, and they were trying to hide it from her, but it just got so painful.
Is that permanent damage or?
I'm not exactly sure. I do know. I mean, chemical burn is pretty serious, so it might really be like permanent damage.
That's when you start thinking about, okay, they say they're a better alternative.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Exactly. And
like anything, it can be overused.
Oxygen is bad for us.
Yeah.
I mean, like just us breathing is slowly killing us, but like. See, it's happening already. Oh, sorry about this, guys. I just got over a cold, and this podcast might have a lot of hacking and coughing and shit. But anyway, other than that, but yeah, no, it's all everything is good in moderation, and only if you need it. So like
That's true. Yes.
like if you're taking NyQuil, if you'll take NyQuil if you're sick, and you'll take the directed amount. But like if you go and chug a whole bottle of NyQuil, you're not gonna own a liver anymore. It'll be gone. It'll just be dead.
It'll pack up and leave.
Yeah, exactly. You'll actually your life will pack up and leave because
People do that though.
I know.
People always love to abuse things. Like I went to Lowe's a while back because I was spray painting some rims. I would say I was 16 or 17. I couldn't buy it
because
you have to be 18 because people like to huff spray paint.
Yeah,
and it's like I'm just trying to spray paint rims. Like I promise I'm not trying to huff spray paint, but like that's what people do nowadays.
Was I 18 whenever I bought the paint for my hood? I think I was. Yeah.
But they ID you like you're buying alcohol.
No, I don't get ID.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Because you look old.
I look old. But they that's crazy though. Like anything in moderation is good, or if you're using it correctly. Because spray paint is definitely not good in any moderation if
when
you're
did
huffing
they start IDing for spray paint? Did they always do that, or
probably a while ago?
But it's like I said, you can't get cough syrup because people think they're gonna get overused. You can't get cough drops. I don't think. You just can't. You really can't get anything unless you're of age.
No, you can. I think you buy cough drops.
Can you?
I've never
I don't think
been
you can
ID'd.
buy certain cough drops.
Okay, I'm not a good source on whether or not you have to be ID'd because
I'm not sure. Let us know down below if you have to be a certain age to get cough drops. I'm not really sure. I haven't really purchased much cough drops in my life, but
Why is my computer going so slow?
I'd probably say in the early 2000s or the late 90s is when they started IDing for spray paint. But
Oh, here we go. When do you need an employee told the Home Depot does check driver's license. Why is my computer so slow right now? Alright, here we go. It does not say when.
yeah.
They apparently ask a 7-year-old man to prove he's at least 18. No, I didn't go to Home Depot. That's why. That
I
might
went
be
to
why.
Lowe's. I got ID'd at Lowe's.
I went to AutoZone.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably. They're pretty local over there.
Yeah, honestly, they're probably like, okay, yeah, this kid's probably cool. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you guys which AutoZone, just in case, like, I don't want that AutoZone to be shut down. It's a pretty good AutoZone. Where I get most of my parts. Just kidding. O'Reilly's where it's at.
Shout out.
But yeah, no, it's just, people are crazy nowadays. Like people will do anything to, like, either get clout, which is, like, popularity, for those of you who don't know, or, like, I saw a guy on Instagram today. I just followed him, because he's a part of, I followed him because he's part of, like, the Full Send thing.
Nelk Boys.
Nelk Boys. They got a whole Full Send people, like Steve will do it and all that.
Oh yeah, Steve's a he's crazy.
No. Jake Willhouse, bro. Man went up to a magician. He's like, yo, you got some cool tricks, but you want to see mine? And the magician was like, yeah, sure. He's like, alright, watch. I'm going to make a staple appear in my cheek. He pulled out a stapler and stapled his cheek.
Oh, he's the one that got shot with a potato gun full of tacks, right?
Yes, this man is insane.
Yes, I know who you're talking
Literally,
about.
like I was watching this shit, and this man, the guy was like, what, can you do that in your arm? He was like, yeah. Just did
a staple
like
gun?
a staple gun. Like a huge staple gun. He's like, I can put it, make a staple here on my cheek. The guy's like, no way. And he went, and the guy was like, that's insane. He's like, literally
insane.
He's like, you think I could come out here and stand next to you? We could do a duet kind of thing. And the guy was like, no, you'd scare people away. He's like, but I can make tips. He's like, no, people would be afraid. He's like, would you tip me? He's like, no, I would run. he's like, watch, I could do the other cheek too. And he put it inside his mouth. And he went.
And the guy come out?
No, he was too far away, but still, like, it could have been fake. But like the way that the magician reacted,
he actually does
it.
Crazy stuff like that.
And it's insane. Like people nowadays are literally just trying to get, like, famous online.
People will do anything for a check.
They will literally do anything, and it is crazy. Like the guy was literally like, "Can you do that in your arm?" He's like, "Yeah." He did. I was like, oh my god.
It's just like Jackass.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
back in the day, they were the only people who would do that stuff.
Well, that's because like there weren't platforms for these people
Yeah,
to do it. Like
that's true.
people can't go out and be like film themselves like jumping off a 5-story building. I mean, they probably won't do that, but they
Didn't
can't.
Steve-O do that? He fell off a 5-story building, right?
Really?
Yeah, in
I don't
clown
know.
college.
I
Steve-O went to clown college.
but yeah, no, they'll like, but they can't go and do that and then record themselves and then send it to a movie producer. And then
Yeah, because people record on their phones. all
yeah,
day
people
long,
people record that shit on their phones and then they'll put it on YouTube or they'll put it on Instagram, and these people will get millions of views because people are like, this kid is insane.
People are just living through those people as well.
Exactly, like,
But
that's,
I wouldn't staple my face.
That's honestly like the entire point of the entertainment industry. I figured this out. I don't know if I heard this from a podcast. I don't know if I learned this myself. I don't recall. But people love to watch movies and watch like comedians and like, oh no, they like to watch comedians because they make them laugh. But no, they like love to watch TV shows. They love to watch superhero movies. They love to watch all this like fake stuff because they love to put themselves in that position.
Yeah.
So they'll like see themselves doing that. If it's not relatable to the audience,
They won't want to
then
watch
they won't want to watch it. Exactly. If they can't be like that's me. Like they
Yeah.
like that's the entire.
Because like
wait, one more point.
All right.
The audience owns half of what you do. Because like
That's
you'll
true.
give them 50, you give them 50%, and then their half is them enjoying it and watching it and like putting their thoughts and like memories into that, so that way they can believe that that's them out there doing that, and that's them like doing that. But like with other things, like informational things, like obviously they're not gonna watch Forensic Files and be like, I was the murderer. But no, like those they just do it for their betterment and they're like learning.
Just like to get a little better, like you said,
Yeah.
a little more knowledge. Of
yeah,
the-
exactly.
the
They'll
field.
learn, so that way they can become murderers one day. No, I'm kidding. But no, seriously, they like people will use podcasts. They'll use like information, TED Talks, all that stuff. Which, by the way, this isn't a TED Talk. Other than that,
Not a tip.
they'll use all that stuff for informational purposes, and they'll better their knowledge on life, and they'll just keep growing and growing and growing. You know? But go ahead with
Yeah,
your point.
because like when you watch a superhero movie, at the end of it, you're like, dang, I'm kind of like Spider-Man.
yeah.
Or you're like, dang, I'm kind of like Iron Man. Or dang, I'm kind of like, I want to be like Captain America.
Well, the thing is, right? I am Spider-Man and stuff. Oh shoot! I wasn't supposed to say that.
No, but like I heard somewhere that people like on a podcast or something, they're like, this time period, this age today, is what we like to call the face tat era.
Face tat era.
Because everybody, it's like, because people get face tats, they're like not gonna get it. They're dedicated on one thing.
Yeah, because they're
You
not
know what
getting
I'm
a
saying?
job.
Exactly. So they're like, because it's like for clout, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the clout era, but the face tat era, because everybody's getting this stuff and that stuff and all that just to get some clout.
Exactly.
And like, I went to a university up there, and I sat in on a class, and one of the guys said, he was an older guy, he said, in my age, when I was about 20, so probably in the mid-1900s,
How old was this guy?
he was
300 years old?
in the mid-1900s, not 1800s.
I don't care. He's still old as fuck.
No, but listen, he said, the only people that had tattoos in his time were criminals.
Hold on. Mid 1900s. I'm stuck on this.
That's like
Mid-
1950s,
That's
bro.
1950. If he was 20 then, that means he was born in 1930. That means he would be 89 right now. 89.
He might have been on a 10-year, bro.
Oh my god, that
No,
man's
but it's
dead.
it's a point, though.
That man's crawling
It might
around
not
the
be
class.
the mid-
I don't care.
1950s,
I don't care.
okay?
He's crawling around that classroom. He's like, guys, whenever I was 20. That man, literally skin and bones. He can't walk. He's not teaching a class.
Okay, it might not have been mid. I might have lied about the mid-90s. Might have been later 1900s.
I'd say like 1980 at most.
80s or 70s.
I'd say 80 because that
Okay.
means he'd be born in like 1960. That would make him like 52, 50.
No, My dad was born in '69.
Yeah, that makes sense. What?
He was like a teenager in
In the 80s, he would be 11.
the '80s. In 1980.
1980, yes. Well, I mean,
Alright, yeah, so say the guy was born in 1970s. We're getting away from the point.
born in 1970s.
Not. Oh my god. Say he was growing up in the 70s, 80s, but he said that the only people that most people knew of that had tattoos were criminals or like convicts and stuff. But in the class, he asked how many people had tattoos.
And everybody.
Almost everybody raised their hand. It's because times have changed and people are just doing. People will always do stuff to stand out, but they don't realize that everybody's doing the same thing that they're doing.
They're trying to get that street cred, bro. That
Yeah.
street cred is all everybody's after now. Because if they got that street cred, then they don't have to worry about like getting disrespected out in these streets. You know what I'm saying? If they get disrespect out in these streets, then they gonna get messed up. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Nah, but seriously, people only do it because like they think they're unique when everybody else is getting tattoos.
We're living in a face tat era, guys.
And this is such a big era. It's literally a microwave society, which is a face tat era, which is also
A clout era.
clout era, which is also an internet era, which is also a streaming era, which is just so many things
So
going.
many different parallels.
We're just like living. I want to say that this could be the best time to live because
It's the what's it called? The 80s, right?
what?
It's gonna be the 80s soon.
I mean, technically, like people say that time like rolls like that. I'm not sure. I don't know how I feel about that because like I don't see any of the like relations between the two times.
Just that people want to bite the style at that time.
I just don't see it though, because like
I don't think it's gonna be like identical to the 80s. Maybe it's just talking about financially.
I don't know. What I do know is what I was gonna say is that this is the best time to live like at this moment, because like if you live in the future, there's a chance that we do find out one day that we live in a simulation. And we're all trying to break out of this. There's also a chance that we find out that robots are taking over and we have to fight the robots. Also a chance that we go into World War III and everybody gets drafted and a lot of people die. Like,
That's
this
very
just
true.
right
The
now,
paradoxes.
just right now in this moment is probably one of the best times to live our lives because we're continually growing with our innovations. We're continually growing with like our inventions. All this stuff is like building on top of each other and like helping us out. Like what, 10 years ago, people had flip phones. They would have never expected
Exactly.
the iPhone X to have face
Yeah.
recognition
Yeah.
that you could do in the
Or
dark.
thumbprints.
Thumbprints, like
Honestly.
that's like all that's insane. But like just the fact of the matter is we're building right now and we're growing, and one day it is gonna happen where we've built so much that it's all gonna topple and it's all gonna like come down. And hopefully that doesn't happen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
But it's one day gonna happen where something's gonna.
One day the sun's gonna burn out.
It's like, one day, but that's like what, 3-4 million years from now.
It's coming.
But
I'm just saying.
It is coming, but it's not gonna happen in our
The
lifetime.
Earth will be long gone before
And
the sun burns
technically, the sun will burn out. It grows in size, and then it'll explode.
Something
It
like
explodes.
that.
It
I should
grows.
pay attention in astronomy.
Yeah, it grows in size, and it'll get too close to the Earth, and everything will burn up. So, I feel bad for those people because they're all just gonna burn alive. But
I genuinely believe the Earth will be gone.
yeah, we'll have killed each
We'll
other.
Wally be. We will have been Wally for sure.
I don't know.
A
It all
giant
depends.
spaceship.
It all depends. Cause like there's a chance that could happen, but like honestly, I believe that. I mean, I don't really believe it. I have a feeling. It's like a gut feeling that one day, hopefully in my lifetime, aliens. Hopefully in my lifetime, aliens are gonna show up. They're gonna have like regenerative technologies that like help us live longer, and they like make us younger. And they'll be able to like bring us a teleporter or something like that, some like mind-blowing technology that is able to like like have half the population stay on Earth, and then they know how to terraform planets, so they'll like be able to
duplicate and stuff.
yeah, they'll be able to go out and they'll be like, here's this terraforming technology, here's how you do it, and then they'll be able to like, here's a teleporter who've placed a landing pad on each of your planets in your solar system, like go ahead and like take it, and you guys like split yourselves evenly. It'll just be like going and getting on a plane to go to like Europe or something. It's just like walking into a teleporter. You'll be on Saturn. It'll be terraformed, and like there, it won't be like cold or nothing. It'll be like Saturn, a gaseous planet. Hold on.
No, but I
Let me just
understand.
take a
It's
look.
just like, what was I gonna say? Crap. But like, we are making big steps towards that, and people just have to understand that there's universe after universe after universe after universe after universe, you know, and nobody knows what's in those other universes because we haven't explored them.
It's gaseous. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like
Yeah.
there could like easily be some like Guardians of the Galaxy shit going on above us right now. People could be like hyper jumping between like, jumps.
Exactly.
And like there could be all that stuff like going on. Saturn is apparently made out of hydrogen and helium, but also ice of ammonia, ice of methane, and water ice, and also liquid hydrogen. So you know that would be hard to terraform. You know, somebody they'd
just
place a
Earth.
teleporter on there, and the entire race of aliens would die off because they couldn't place a teleporter on there.
I know they discovered a planet somewhere that has very similar characteristics to Earth. What is it, Planet X, right?
That was so long ago.
I know. Is it Planet X?
It was called Planet X.
Whatever. I haven't heard anything from that. Is it in this?
It's Planet 9.
Is
It's in our solar system, but it's Planet 9. Wait. It's post Saturn, Jupiter, Earth, and a lot of kind of certain groups believe will take place. What is this? Okay. The Nibiru Cataclysm is a supposed disastrous encounter between the Earth and a large planetary object that certain groups believe will take place in the early 21st century. Believers in this doomsday event usually refer to this object as Nibiru or Planet X. Year proposed 1995.
Oh,
So
we're just waiting for it to hit now.
But no, that's just like people saying Y2K and all
Yeah,
that other
just
stuff.
doomsday. Do you believe in that stuff?
Doomsday? No.
Doomsday prepping.
No.
You think
No.
they're crazy?
They are.
What about like for like fallouts or like?
No.
No.
I mean, like I said about the vault, but like, no, because
If you don't know about that right there, go back and watch the first video.
yeah, but yeah, no, I don't. I mean, it could happen, like 100%, like, but people won't. What's the point? You're gonna be living in a vault underneath the earth, and maybe you have kids down there, but like, we're not gonna have food that lasts that long, like, because we gotta wait for the earth to be habitable again. And if that were to happen, that would take hundreds of years. People still can't walk through Chernobyl.
Chernobyl's not.
Exactly.
Chernobyl is still one of the highest
Exactly.
radioactive zones in the world. I know people tour there, but they can only tour for, I don't know, I think like an hour max. But they do say that wildlife has like grown a crazy amount in Chernobyl.
Wildlife?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know why? There's no human
Oh, wait a minute.
activity there.
5 years after the initial explosion?
What?
How long does it take to recover from nuclear fallout 5 years after the initial explosion?
Is the fallout the same as
That's like the radioactive stuff that's all over.
Yeah,
the
but
place.
it had a giant factory meltdown.
Oh yeah, that's Chernobyl. That's completely different. That's the.
Is a fallout different than like a meltdown or?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because fallout is from a nuke, and then a meltdown is just the reactor messing up.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. All this stuff. I don't really care.
What you're trying to say is though, there's no point in living in them.
There's no, yeah, because like honestly,
You'd have to start from
scratch.
the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, no, because think about it. The nukes would go off, right?
Mm-hmm.
then they would destroy all plant life.
Yeah.
So there'd be no more oxygen.
No oxygen. Yeah.
So
I feel like it would, if there was enough nukes, which there are,
Mhm.
to like wipe out all of Earth. I
Mhm.
feel like it would affect the atmosphere
Well, you got to
and
think.
the ozone.
You got to think too. Okay, so these nukes go off.
Mhm.
They fly. They hit the area. Then they hit the reactors. Then the reactors have meltdowns. Then we have a giant.
It's just a big old cluster.
It's all chain reactions that end up like completely screwing with everything that happens. And like honestly, it wouldn't.
And it's not like Last Man on Earth where you can go to a Lamborghini store and drive around Lamborghinis,
Yeah,
because there
exactly.
would be no
There'd be nothing.
Lamborghinis.
They'd literally, it'd be starting over new, and I mean, it would suck to die by a nuke. Like that's the most painful thing you could do.
You get vaporized, disintegrate.
Yeah, but you'd feel it. Like
Yeah.
people, and I think it was Hiroshima or whatever. They like the people that didn't die from the
Got
blast.
affected?
No, not those people. The people, I mean, there are those people that
Yeah.
they died from cancer afterwards. But like, no, the people that there's a radius where when the nuke hits, it sends out a shockwave. That shockwave can like kill you instantly. It'll stop your heart. Then there's the fire that's hotter than like 3 billion suns that'll completely just melt you. Which is sorry, we're talking about this morbid stuff. Like this is terrible. But yeah, no, that stuff will like completely like just melt you, and it's just not good. And then there's the after effects of the fallout falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
And if you're within that, then you'll die later on from the cancer. And then there's also like ash and stuff that'll fall from the sky that'll also give you the cancer
like,
because
mess up your
it'll
lungs.
be in your lungs and stuff. And nukes just aren't a good thing. And honestly, I think it was the people that made the nuke. After they had made it, they're like, "What have we done?"
They instantly regretted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the same thing with the atom bomb too. That was made on an accident.
Exactly, and like it's all. Isn't an atom bomb and a nuke the same thing? I think.
No. A nuke, an atom bomb is when you split an atom,
Oh, okay.
and that like causes a giant explosion. I don't know how a nuke goes off. It might be the same. Which is the ones that they painted like the bomber faces on?
a Moab?
What are those?
It's a mother of all bombs.
Yeah, but like,
Hold on. An atomic bomb, nuclear fission produces the atomic bomb. Yeah, I think a nuke and an atomic bomb are the same thing.
oh, okay.
Wait, here we go. What's the difference between a nuke and a different? Oh yeah, difference between a nuclear bomb and an atomic bomb. Difference is that atomic bomb is nuclear fission, which splits a bigger atom into two smaller ones to create their energy. Hydrogen bomb uses fusion, which is done by fusing 2 or more atoms into a bigger one.
You should probably clear your history after this.
Oh fuck. It's whatever. I mean, we go from percentage of nicotine in joule to is a nuke an atomic bomb.
The FBI is scratching their head right now.
They're like, what? What else was gonna? Oh yeah, what is a Moab? I'm sorry, FBI. This is not massive ordnance air blast. I thought it was a mother of all bomb.
I think that's what
yeah,
they know.
that's commonly known as a mother of all bomb. Large yield bomb developed with blah blah blah. Hold on. Developed for the United States, is the most powerful non-nuclear weapon in the American
Oh, okay,
arsenal.
so it's not a nuclear weapon.
Yeah. What's it called?
Fashion.
Okay. This is what I wanted to get to about all this. So, guy that made dynamite. His name was something Nobel. Let me look it up. Guy who invented.
Did you know the guy who invented the bathroom was something crapper?
Yeah, I didn't know that. It's like John Crapper.
Now you know.
Alfred Nobel. He made it, and he was like contracted to make it, and he was like he was also like he instantly regretted it. So
It was
he
originally made for mining, right?
I don't know what it was made for.
It wasn't made for.
I gotta look that
I
up,
think
too.
it was made for like scaling mountains.
Purpose of dynamite. It was a chemist. It rapidly gained wide-scale use as a more powerful alternative to black powder. Today, dynamite is made in mining, quarry, construction, and demolition industries. Okay, so what I was getting to about this, he instantly regretted it, and he wanted to prove to people that he wasn't like a person of war and like all this other stuff. So what he did was he went out and like started doing things for peace and like all this other stuff, and like tried getting people to start inventing things to like help the world and all this other stuff. That's who the Nobel Peace Prize is named after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his last name is Nobel.
Oh, wow.
I forget where I learned that from, but that's what the Nobel
That didn't
Peace
even
Prize
cross
is.
my mind.
Yeah, Nobel. It's like that's what he's about. He's like he wanted to create a way for people to be influenced to make like peaceful objects. That's why it's like $1 million to.
I feel like people who create like things of like destruction or weapons and stuff usually regret it, because I know the guy who created the guillotine ended up getting killed by the guillotine.
I feel like they instantly regret it because like they
Because
realize
people
die
take it out of
because of that.
proportion.
Well, exactly, and also they die because of what they've done. Like they know that they're the reason that multiple people die.
Yeah.
I feel like we should really get off this subject.
We really should.
This is just not a good subject to be on. It's bad. Like, but I mean, he did good, I guess, by like making all that
The
stuff.
Nobel Peace Prize.
Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, he made sure that like people were.
Did he create that, or did people create that after him?
I think he made it because Alfred Nobel. Let me see, Alfred
Because it's a very prestigious award.
Peace Prize. He. Hold on. Let's see. Died. In his last will and testament, he wrote that much of his fortune was to be used to give prizes to those who have done their best for humanity in the field of physics, chemistry, physiology, or medicine, literature, and peace.
Okay.
So it was him. He did that all. Which reminds me, there's an author. Like, I'm getting off this subject now.
All right.
Finally, guys. Segue into the next one. There's an author who hid in his books, like, which is crazy because, like, you know, this inspires people to read. In his books, he has a map for I think it's the Andes.
Mm-hmm.
The Andes Mountains in Venezuela, or it's Mount Everest. I think it might be Mount Everest. He hid a chest with like $5 million, $1 million to $5 million.
Right.
He hid that in the mountains, and I think like 8 people have died looking for it already.
Has it not been found
It
today?
hasn't been found. Like
Is it like true?
it? Maybe he died, so nobody knows. They can't ask him.
Pranking him.
He could really be pranking him. A lot of people. Dang it, we're back on people dying.
All right, no more people dying.
All right, let's just go. Let's just say this about people dying. Yeah, people are searching for this chest. Nobody has found it yet, and it's just rumored. Like people could really just be like wasting their time, like going out looking for this. But I was thinking about starting an expedition to find this chest because if I find it,
Shoot,
$1 million. I mean,
bro. But like, speaking of like discovering things, I just realized the other day I was watching Top Gear. It's a show about people in cars and stuff, and they go on adventures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their like challenges was to find the center of the Amazon River, or like the main.
Oh yeah.
Like nobody's discovered it.
Wasn't that Grand Tour?
It might have been Grand Tour. I might have got that wrong. Grand Tour, same thing. But like they were supposed to find I don't remember what it was, but like nobody's been able to ever do it, but they did it.
The source of.
The
No,
river.
they didn't do it.
They did it in the TV show, but like that's the thing. Is like
It was
did
a
they
joke.
do it?
It was
a joke.
They literally found a small little rock that was shooting water out of it, and they were like, "We found it, guys." And they were like,
I didn't
joking about
actually
it.
watch the end. Of
Oh
that
my
one.
god. That was my brother told me that Jeremy died. Is that true?
No,
Yeah. I
Jeremy
think he
didn't
died.
die.
But no, back on the subject of people dying. I'm tired of it. Why do we keep going here?
It's a dark day, I guess.
I don't know what it is.
Have you heard the Lil Peep, I Love McConan, and Fall Out Boy song?
No.
Well, it's good. But I don't know. Lil Peep is
Well,
dead.
it's good.
Lil Peep is no longer with us, but the song is good. And I didn't know I Love McConan was still relevant or alive, but he is.
why are we talking about if he's alive or not? We should just be like, he's a good artist.
He is a good artist.
You know who's a great artist? Trippie Redd.
Trippie is a great
I
artist.
just recently got into Trippie Redd. Trippie Redd, so good.
We're gonna segue into a music portion of this.
Yeah.
Top songs, top 5 songs you've been listening to this week. Let's hear 'em.
This week, I've been listening to these songs for the past like 3 weeks.
Okay.
How You Feel,
Fire.
Topanga.
Fire.
I'm not doing these in order. I'm just naming
Yeah.
them. Forever Ever by Trippie Redd again.
Mm-hmm.
Mixed Personalities and Murder on My Mind.
Alright. I kind of have a similar list to you. I got the new Lil Peep song. Well, the old new Lil Peep song. Mixed Personalities. No Heart. Murder on My Mind. And probably Topanga.
Yeah, Topanga's good.
I'm just gonna say, one second, like, if you haven't listened to We All Shine by Melly, I recommend you really listen to it. It's a very good album.
Do you think he's getting capital punishment?
For sure.
For sure?
There's no way he's not.
I mean,
I've read it. I've read deep into the case.
uh,
There's so many lies
so many
that,
lies.
that they've gotten
Is
caught on.
this all about him like accidentally murdering his 2 friends?
Yeah.
Why did they take so long to arrest him?
Because they were figuring out the stories and stuff and cases.
But he sang it in his song that he did it.
Yeah.
He admitted to it.
It's like, because they said it was a drive-by shooting, right?
Uh-huh.
But they found casings in the car coming from the seat that Melly was sitting in. And the drive-by shooting, nobody reported it in that area that they reported the drive-by was in. I want it to not be true.
Okay.
I really don't want it to not be true, but
You want to get on a hot topic?
let's jump into the water, bro. Let's hear it.
Capital punishment. Do you think it's
Like the death penalty.
yeah? How do you think it should be allowed? Do you think it should
You know what I believe in?
What?
Eye for an eye. Well, which is capital punishment to an
Yeah.
extent. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, there's been cases where people, like, burn or, like, cut somebody or stab somebody and stuff. I think they should know what they did to somebody or feel what they did to somebody. And that would probably, 9 out of 10 times, make them not do it again. But, again, if they stabbed somebody, like, gruesomely or, like, near death, I think they should still be put in jail.
I'm not really sure how I feel about it. Like, I'm on the fence.
I don't like the way they used to do it, but I also I'm 50-50 on it because like I've seen this like guy, he did a campaign where he's like, let the murderer of my dad live, because he's like, yes, he took this life, but I believe in reform.
Okay, but think about it, right? These people, there are people that are like that say capital punishment shouldn't be a thing because of the fact that they want these people to rot in jail and like suffer.
That's also just as
There's-
bad. And who is somebody to control?
Yeah, who is somebody to say that this person shouldn't be allowed to live anymore?
But that's also what they did.
Exactly, but think about it. They're technically being murderers by saying death
Yeah,
penalty.
exactly. Yeah, I agree with
They're
that.
killing them.
I know back in the time, for like when they did firing squad, I know they discontinued that a while ago. But they used to put blanks in like 5 people's guns
Mhm.
and put the real bullet in 1 person's gun, so that the real person didn't know it was them.
Okay.
But I mean, I feel like line of fire.
Yeah.
But for capital punishment, I'm gonna stay in the middle with that one.
Yeah, we just did terrible. That was a terrible debate. We just did not prove anything. We kind of just
We don't want to get
we
shot
don't
on.
want. Yeah, we don't want to.
I'm sure we have
Want to
different
start
off camera
opinions. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to choose a side here because
Sorry, hard to choose.
I mean, there.
Just don't do it.
I just feel like there are things that go into this that we don't know about that I don't want to.
I'm sure you're familiar with Marilyn Manson, right?
Yeah.
The rock star. If you guys aren't, he's a rock star.
Charlie Manson?
No, but like, he was getting interviewed, and like people always try to like catch him slipping and stuff because he's a figure. You know what I mean? He's just like a icon.
Yeah.
So they were like, if you could talk to I think it was for the Sandy Hook shooting.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, if you could talk to the Sandy Hook shooter before he did something, what would you say to him? And he said, honestly, I wouldn't say anything. They're like, oh, really? He said, I would just listen to him.
I mean, honestly, there's that, but like, yeah, that would make sense. But yeah,
I feel like, but there's also, it's deeper than that.
yeah, it's got to be deeper than that. You gotta, cause like, there's no chance that it was just because this kid was troubled and he was like,
And he had something to get off his chest.
yeah, exactly.
I think it's far deeper than that.
But we can't say anything about this because we're not mental health professionals.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We don't know.
We have nothing,
Yeah,
no
we don't
position on it.
any way of like saying. Yeah, we have no way of saying what is true and what's not true and all this other stuff. So,
Agreed, yeah.
this has just turned into a really dark podcast.
Yeah, it started off light.
Um,
What can I say? What can we say?
it's it's interesting. The fact of the matter is, vigilantes should be allowed.
Yes, dude.
Spider-Man,
kick-ass.
yeah, Spider-Man, that kind of deal.
Have you seen the Workaholics spoof on Kick-Ass?
No.
Kick-Ass is like a wannabe Spider-Man dude. He got hit by a car or
Yeah.
stabbed or something, and he has like no nerves or anything, so he can like take hits and stuff. But like Workaholics, they made a group called Beat Ass.
Oh.
But the B kept on falling off their shirts, and it would always say "eat ass." But they had like a blind dude on their team or something. He's like, I can hear like crime coming and stuff. But like vigilantes, perfect. We need some people
Yeah.
running around in tights and stuff.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I just feel like a lot of this stuff is just, it's too far in the spectrum of dark.
If you have spider powers, or like you can fly, or anything like that, like show out,
Yeah.
pull up,
Pull
do
up.
something, you know.
If you're a vampire or something, if you're a werewolf,
Do
give
something,
give
man.
me the powers.
Like,
'cause
don't hide in the shadows
I will-
because people will utilize them.
I will 100% do that. I will 100% use your powers.
So, yeah. We got powers. Come here, come to the garage. We'll put you in a chair. we'll talk to you, you know what I mean? But we are running out of time here.
Yeah, it looks like we've gotten a good amount of time here. But yeah, like we were saying earlier, if you have any questions for us, hit us up. If you have any questions, we'll let you know the guests on in advance.
We'll post something about it.
This is kind of crazy. What, third episode?
Third episode.
Third episode. Sorry, like I said, just got over a cold. Cold. God damn it. No. Yeah. Third episode. Going strong.
Going strong, yeah.
Actually, not really. We were gone for 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
We're back.
We're back.
We are
Better.
back.
We're
But
back.
yeah, contact us through Instagram, direct message us, drop a comments on the videos, subscribe so we know that you guys are feeling it. And if you've watched it, if you've stayed with us this entire time, you're a real one.
Yeah, you are the podcast.
You
Just
are
know that. Like
you're
we
in
said,
the garage, but
like we said, we own 50%. The other 50% we do your guys'. You help us. You make this podcast. So thank you for watching.
We need input. If you have any input, we're always listening to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, if you have our numbers or our social medias, go ahead and contact us. If not, follow the garage on Instagram. What's the handle on that one?
I think it's Official Garage Podcast. Let me confirm.
Follow
that.
the Official Garage Podcast on Instagram, YouTube. Like I said, drop a comment. We're always looking. But yeah.
Yeah, it's Official Garage Podcast. Honestly, if you can't find it, just hit us up. We'll follow you on it. And also, if you'd like, it is possible for you guys to send us some sort of like not skits, like parts that we could do with this podcast. Like you could send us.
We're always segments and such. We're always looking for segments. We'll shout. We'll always give out a shout out for people who deserve the shout out.
If you want, this is just spitballing here. Great way we could do this is you can see our roasting skills, and if you'd like, you can send us your your outfit or your car, and we can try our hardest
We can
to
dig into
we
it.
can dig into it and let you know how we really think about it. You know, if you have a nice car, we may talk.
We may not have anything to say.
Yeah, we might be like, this is a beautiful car, but.
No, but yeah.
That's actually a great idea. We'll like if you want to do that, send in pictures of your car, and you know that's how that'll go. We'll choose the best ones that we can either roast or like give praise to, and we'll see how it goes. You know.
If this seems like a lot to you guys now, we'll always be posting stuff on our Instagram. And if you want topics to be heard or topics for us to discuss, let us know. But like I said, we'll always be posting what we will be doing on our social media. We might do phone chats during the podcast, who knows? But like I said, stick with the Instagram, because that's where most of our things will be happening.
Mm-hmm.
We may create other social media platforms, but
We'll have stories. I'm thinking about starting some polls on there, so that way you guys can like decide like.
so we know what you want.
Yeah, exactly. We can decide like what to talk about. If there's like if we're having a debate on something, if we know we're gonna have this debate, I may post a poll on there. You guys can vote on which side you are, and then we'll see like during the I won't check it until the podcast, and we can see what you guys think on this topic instead of just us talking up here. You know, you
Like
guys
up to date.
become a part of us. You know.
Be a part of us, the middle chair.
Yeah.
For the guests or
Just-
for the audience.
Just know you're here with us in spirit.
This is your late night entertainment,
It's your bored at work entertainment.
early in the morning, driving late.
Working out in the gym, you know, getting some reps in.
But thank you for joining us here tonight. Much appreciated. You guys have a great night. This is Jake Braswell
This is Brandon Kirchhoff.
signing out.
See y'all.